All right, hello and welcome back. Brett here with ClickMill.co. So in this video, I want to discuss with you the mindset you need to have when you're dealing with digital advertising platforms. You got to be pretty shrewd and the motivations of those platforms. Okay, so I have, as I've mentioned, I have spent, I don't know, well over $10 million in advertising at this point. And when you are advertising, you begin to realize very quickly that the advertising platforms are not on your team. They are on their own team. And of course they are, because what are they? They're a business and they need to make a profit. Where the advertising is where Google makes all of their money. What product does Google sell? They don't have products. They have digital platforms, and the way you monetize those is through ads. And that is what Google Ads is. It is their baby. It's their cash cow. And so it is, of course, in Google's best interest to increase the probability of Google Ads as much as possible. And you are the client. Okay, now, when businesses, especially small businesses, sign up with Google, they have and I used to do this as well, they have this assumption that Google's there to help them. And when they sign up, Google is going to help them have a profitable business, and they get those nice calls from those people who are checking in on them and all this stuff. Okay, so let's talk about that. And let's talk about the dynamic here that is at play when Google's reaching out to you, when Google sets up their entire Google Ads dashboard. And I'll show you when you get into Google Ads software, I will show you some of these things in the software. You'll see it's pretty obvious once you know what you're looking for. But let's talk about it in these terms to make it maybe a little more understandable. When you go buy a car and you ask the car salesman if you even need a new car, what's the answer he's going to say? Of course you do. Of course you need a new car. Why? Because he's incentivized to sell you a car. He only makes money when you buy a car, so you need a car. Well, gosh, I'm not really sure how nice of a car I need. I don't really think I need a 300,000. Oh, you definitely need this car. Let me tell you all the reasons why you need this car. It's going to make your life so much better. And what are they going to do? They're going to sell you the nicest car they can sell you. So you never go to the salesperson to tell you if you need the thing or how nice of a thing you need. That's a decision you need to make separate from your car salesman, because they're always going to sell you the most they can sell you. Now, moving this back over to Google, Google is the salesperson in this. They own the used car lot and they're selling used cars. And then they're coming in and they're giving you phone calls as the customer support representative. So they're giving you the customer support that's helping you decide what car to buy and how many cars to buy and how expensive they should be. So your Google is positioning themselves very brilliantly, I might add, to be both the advisor and the salesperson. And people don't realize this. And so when you get the customer care calls from Google, the customer service calls, hey, I'm, Dave with Google Ads customer support. I just wanted to call you, make sure your account's running, see if I could help you make any optimizations. In those calls, they will always try to sell you more ads. Maybe not always, but the majority of the time, they're selling you ads. Now, I know this because one of the gentlemen on our team here who actually runs our advertising account, we hired him when he had completed multiple years, 7 years with Google, and he was on the teams who did the calls. And I asked him when he came on board with us, I was like, is it true that they're selling? Because I know they're selling. And he's like, he's like, I was always selling the ads. Okay, so that to say, the motivations of the digital advertising platforms is to sell you ads. So first and foremost, they're not your friend. Don't take their advice. And if you do take their advice, filter it through, your own skill set. Don't depend on them to help you sell stuff. Okay. Because they're going to get you to spend as much money as possible. Now, there are a couple ways they do this. Number one is through the phone calls. So for me, I get calls from Google Ads every day, and they admittedly, they do help you optimize, which is great. And also they're always going to tell you need to spend more and you need to do it certain ways that gets you spending more and will actually get you less results. So that's where it's dangerous, because you can just say, hey, I don't really want to spend any more right now. But for example, when you're trying to get inbound traffic and get a very, very tight cost per conversion, I want to get conversions at $20 a lead. And they say, we'll go on the display market. You're never going to be able to do that. But they're going to push the display market because it means you spend more. So they're going to make recommendations to increase sales, even if it means your account isn't going to necessarily do better. So you have to filter it through your own expertise when you talk to these people on the phone. And that does not say they do a bad job. I actually learned Google Ads from just hundreds of hours of being on the phone with them years and years ago. I just called them every day and was like, I've got problems. Let's go through it. So I've seen this in real time now. Additionally, when you go into Google Ads, all of the presets are in favor of Google selling more things. So you will have things that make it spend more money preset in the account. So we'll be seeing those as we get in there as well. So all of that to say is you need to develop your own Google Ads expertise and realize that those digital platforms are selling you cars and they're coming alongside of you and making recommendations both in the software and through the phone calls and the personal outreach through the emails. And they're making recommendations as your trusted advisor to buy more stuff. Okay, so very brilliant move on their part, and you need to be skeptical. You need to realize what the game is they're playing so that you can play it effectively as well. And so personally, for me, Google's a great tool. Google Search, Google Ads, all of these platforms are great. And also, Google is concerned with their bottom line. So if my bottom line ever conflicts with their bottom line, they're going to very quickly do what's best for them. And so I trust Google as far as I can throw them. And, you know, they're a digital thing. They don't exist in reality, and I can't throw them. So I don't trust Google, but I trust Google to make money for Google. And so long as what I'm doing aligns with that, Google's going to work great for me. And that's fine. That's what business is. So just be aware in those accounts, you are going to come up against things that are set up to make Google money and not help you. And we have to be aware of that going in. So thank you for being with me in this video. As we continue, we're going to start getting into the ads account structure so you understand what you're looking at in a Google Ads account. We'll see you there.